Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a series I'm going to call Brassic and Boosted. In it we're going to be recommissioning and or modifying the vehicles that you see here, these turbo or supercharged vehicles. So let's start series 1 with Mini. Now this Mini came into a garage that I used to work at / own about 2.5 years ago. The cooling system was overpressurising or overheating, as you can see from the rusty watermarks as evidence. Diagnosed it as head gasket, so whipped it off, new one on. Oh my god, dust in my eyes. New one on, no compression when we tried to start it. Stripped it out again, found the block was warped, so took the block out, crankshaft, pistons, just sort of a bare block, had that skimmed, reassembled it all. I think it had new piston rings because they were sort of carboned up and they were sort of stuck in a compressed state. It was running again nicely, but obviously the customer only was prepared to pay for the head gasket, so when we'd let them know that actually the block is knackered, they didn't want to go any further. It became possession of the garage, and then it was given to me in a business deal for my sort of share of the ownership, and it's now sat here for a couple of years, maybe not quite, 18 months. So if I don't do anything with it now, it is just going to sit and waste away. So we will start this episode 1 with general maintenance, routine maintenance, and this obviously has, well, I say new oil. The oil in it's done less than 10 miles. So for me, the main component in this engine bay is the supercharger down here. So we're going to whip that off, give it a service, and I've got one of these. It's apparently a 19% reduction supercharger pulley. Now the last time I owned an R53 Cooper S was almost exactly 10 years ago. It had the 17% reduction pulley on it with some iridium spark plugs, I think, and a power flow exhaust. Pops and bangs for days, and I would go as far as say it was the quickest car I've ever owned, which maybe doesn't say much about the cars I've owned since. So this I'm going to consider an homage to the fastest car I've ever owned. Let's get into it. I've got a couple of friends from work to help me rip this front end off. Let's get started. Right, this bumper I don't think is held on all that well. There's usually an 8mm up both sides. They do tend to corrode and rot, which obviously was the case here. This one is corroded, rotted and snapped off in there. We've got a 10mm here, and there's usually 3 10mm underneath. But I've got a feeling they have corroded as well, so we're going to have to secure this a bit better when we put it back together, but it's going to make it easier to take off. 1 10mm I think is all that's holding it, and then we've got this cross member, which is a load of 13s. I'm hoping I can get away with just moving the aircon compressor out the way, not compressor, condenser. Radiator, not sure. Is this a sign of it starting to leak? bit of crystallisation of coolant. We probably have to drop the coolant on it anyway. Is it 110mm holding that? Oh, so we've got a intake temp sensor down there. Obviously, some plugs for side lights, indicators. I think them 10mm might be. Oh, there's something there. Oh, I didn't want to have to jack it up. Bloody hell. Let's unplug everything first. No fog lights. Oh yeah, there is. They don't come with the bumper. Right. So I'll get on my knees and have a look what's going on. Phillips. Couple of Phillips. Okay. Get my screwdriver. What is happening? Oh, that's falling already. Come on in. Yes. Where am I going to put this now then? Okay. Cross member. Lovely. Right, 10mm then on this aircon condenser. One there. One there. And it should sort of lift up. It kind of come out of the way. This front panel is held on with, can't remember now. A load of screws in the arch liners, I think. Not much else. I think we're going to need the radiator out. Has it been leaking? I don't know. Do we put a new one in it? Who knows? So, gonna need there should be sort of a centre pin that goes down these. Obviously missing. We're gonna have to lose coolant, I think. Never mind. Right. Set of adjustable pliers to get these hoses off. Didn't have any adjustable pliers. They're all obviously at work, so hopefully some long nose will do the job. Which way do I go with it? Just like that. To be fair, they shouldn't be that tight because they have been off. Obviously when we did have the engine out first time around. I'm just gonna there we are. lovely. Bottom one down there, same again with long nose pliers. I'll try to anyway. Come on. Yes. And then we just good weed killer is coolant. Splendid. Probably going to flush all this cooling system anyway. I feel like there's still sort of rusty water hanging around from last time, so, and all this needs cleaning up, all these rusty stains. Luckily the supercharger is coming off, so yeah, we can do that. Right then, front panel, what's holding it still? Some screws up there. That's not good because will they come off? I don't know. Right, let's dry my hands and have a regroup. Right, I've undone some stuff, taken some clips out, and I think we're about ready for this to come out. I don't think it's going to come all the way. I think I'm just going to have to sort of move it to the side because I don't want to disconnect this aircon. So yes, and it'll just undo this horn, take the plug off, and this wiring should come out of that hole. What have we got then? I know a lot of people take these sort of crash impact bars out, but I've managed plenty of times without. However, the one time I'm filming it could be the exception. Let's just see what happens. Also, the little quarter under tray that's underneath will not come off, so I'm having to sort of bring that with this front panel as well. Not ideal. This wiring. Come on. Oh, twin horns. Undo this side. There we are. In fact, to be honest, that'll probably give us enough room anyway. You can see that lovely supercharger there. Obviously, I want to try and clean all this rusty mess up. Alternator looks like it was newish. I think the water pump was changed. The previous owner changed that because they thought that was why it was boiling up. I haven't got a tool to do this auxiliary belt. However, it is having a new one, so snip snip. Hopefully. Oh. There we go. Make sure I bring the tool when it's time for reassembly. Oh yeah. Right then, let me work out what tools I need. Right, I think we're just going to start from the top and work our way down. So, intercooler. T30s. Ooh. So they should come apart. Nice. Now there is some brackets, supporting brackets missing off this intercooler. They're sort of meant to sit under here. Let's see about getting a hold of some second-hand ones. For the moment, I'm not too bothered. Oh yeah, nice. Snoot boots. Okay, so the next thing will probably be this air intake pipe. Take that off. And then there's obviously this crank breather, which this red collar should push down, and then the pipe pulls up like that. Nice. Water pump's going to come with us, but it's alright, this hose is already taken off. There's another one back there I can see. I hope the inlet manifold doesn't have to come off. Can't be bothered with that. Dipstick there on a 13. Alternator has to come off, so go on then. I'll just let that dangle, I think. As long as it doesn't touch anything earthy, we'll be alright. And I'll just keep them bolts roughly where they go. Put that one there. Tensioner sounds a bit rough. What's next? Dipstick on a 13. Nice. Should come out of the way enough. Let's just undo all these. Need an extension. I've got one somewhere. Right there. Tensioner's bolted to it as well. Good lord. Oh, something's moved. Oh yeah, that's jiggling. So, yeah, we better have that throttle body off. Let's get an extension. What else is holding it? Fucking 8mm there, Jesus Christ. Dropped a nut as well. Have I got an 8? Only on a spanner. Come on then, what's going to come with this? There we go, look, there we are, that's that off. Go on. Oh, and it twizzles. That should fucking come out now. That should come out. Just take that off there. And we're not risking snapping that. I can't see anything else attached. Come on. Get the dipstick out of the way. Maybe the dipstick tube shouldn't leak oil because that's tube's pretty high up the block. Yes. Come on. However, that coolant is just going straight into that hole of the dipstick tube that I've just removed. Yeah, we'll have to do an oil and filter on this. Cunt. Oh, and there we fucking go. Nice. Now these pulleys, I think, are what they call an interference fit. So, sort of inside diameter of this pulley is slightly smaller than the diameter of the shaft that it is on. I think they're pressed on. So to get it off, we've got 3 options. We can heat it up. Hopefully this will expand and come off easier. But if there's any seals behind there, it's likely going to damage them. You can get specific pullers for these. I'm not going to buy one because they're 60 or 70 quid. And if I'm only going to use it the once, I can't justify it. And the other option is to cut it off. Angle grinder. So that's probably the way we're going to go. Obviously, if we're not reusing this pulley, doesn't matter what state it is in when it leaves the fucking vehicle. And yeah, I'll have to do that at work, I think. I haven't got a grinder with me, so I'll yeah, get that pulley swapped and then we'll do the service. We are a few days later now, and I told you a lie earlier because I've been out and bought, well, I say I've been on eBay and bought a pulley removal tool for this supercharger. 2 reasons. Number 1, I will probably own another one of these minis at some point, so, and because this is an easy sort of power upgrade to do, I'm probably going to do it again. Also, I have another one of these superchargers for another vehicle somewhere down the line. So yeah, instead of cutting it off, this is going to be much easier. I don't have to take it to work and do it. I can just do it right here, right now, I think. We've got our service kit here. So some seals for the water pump. Obviously the new pulley. Syringe for the oil, a seal for this intake, a seal for this intake, and I think that is it. So first thing I'm going to do is just make this smaller and more manageable. So we're going to take this air intake off. I'm going to take the water pump off. Yeah. Left me impact gun in the car, so come on. There we go. Nice. Just set that aside somewhere. Won't fit in there. Let's pop it down on there. Bottom shelf. Water pump now then. Got some 13s on this side. There's just 3 bolts on that. Nice. That's already moving. Wicked. Set that down there. I'll probably clean this up as well. Oh yeah, right. So these 2 seals are for the bin. Before that, just make sure the new ones we've got are the exact same. That looks good. So does that one. Nice. Okay. I think I'll whip this pulley off next with the new tool. Oh, 3-piece tool. I don't think this will do the pulley on the vehicle either. Some of them you can get. Obviously just sort of slot over between the tensioner and this pulley, but yeah, this isn't going to do it. But I don't mind because probably want a service before we start pushing more power through them, don't they, really? And this has done, I think, 102,000 miles. So it's definitely due. It's, yeah, 100,000 mile service, I think, is what they're meant to have. So that just slots round there. That one slots round there. And to be honest, this is the first one I've actually done. I think I've seen one done before. It wasn't done with the tool, it was obviously cut off with a grinder. But that was ever such a long time ago. I'm not going to go mental on these, just a quick little nip like that. Just that will come out. And then, oh yeah. Come on. So 1/2 inch and a 24mm. Come on. Oof. Need something to counter hold it, don't I? Spanner on there perhaps. 2 options, Morley's or adjustable spanner. I'm hoping I can just grip this here and then continue turning the ratchet. Come on. Something went then. Yes. There we go. 1 supercharger pulley removed. Right, oil change now then. Apparently, I read somewhere it's best to take this snout off, because you can get in and clean any dirt and debris out of there. But yeah, to be honest, it tells you on this oil, what I think one side holds 140 mil. Is it? Yeah. So this pulley chamber holds 140 mil. There's a little plug there. I think that is the drain and fill plug. And then this side, the water pump chamber, that holds 40 mil. And this is off eBay as well. Mini Works. I think this was £36 something for the oil, the seals, syringe. Yeah, which I didn't think was too bad. However, I wouldn't know. Now it doesn't give you any seals. So if you take this off, I'm not sure whether I'm going to take that off. Obviously, I know it says it's best to, but I think to start with, we shall just see what state this oil is in. Now, I did try and do this with a H5. Didn't like it, so I've got a T30. So I've already cracked it. I'm not sure what it was to start with, but crack that off. I think there's 2 O-rings in this bag. I'm assuming they're for these plugs. So I'll get a container and see what state this oil's in. We're wanting, to drop about 140 mil out of there. So let's do it. Right, I've just cut the bottom off this empty milk bottle. Got to tip this supercharger up and see what happens. That actually looks pretty golden, pretty clean. Impressed with that. Seems like a decent amount as well. Nice. But at least, we've got peace of mind now that this has, got decent oil in it before we start pushing 200 horsepower through it. Nice. Wicked. I'm not an expert or anything, but I think that's more than 100 mil. So, that is pretty damn clean as well. Obviously there's a little bit of semi-skimmed milk bubbling in there, but right. Just move that out of the way. We need 140 mil. So I'm going to do a 60 and 60, 60 and a 20. 55. There we go. Nice. And that's the 140mm in the pulley chamber. This just wants a cheeky little nip. Nice. Oh, that's got it. Okay. Nice. There we go. So unplug back in. Just a nip, not as tight as it was when it came off. Tidy. There we are, oil change done. Right then, this is the state we're in at the minute. Water pump's back on. This inlet horn is back on. Oh shit, camera's knocked over. We've got a new gasket under here. There's a new O-ring on there. This new seal on there. I haven't really cleaned it up much, just got rid of some of the sort of rust staining. It's not a show car, is it? So I don't suppose it matters all that much. I think I've put that on the wrong way around. Now I'm looking at it. Does it go that way? I think that's better, isn't it? Ooh. So all that's left now is to put this on. It is a 19. It's got stamped on the back of here. And it's quite a clever design, this. So this obviously slips over the original shaft. And obviously this is tapered. I think it's tapered in there. And as you screw these 4 bolts up, this clamps down on that shaft. So easy. I think the hard bit will be standing this up proper. So we'll get these started. They are 3mm, I think, hex. 4mm hex. Just wind them in. Just lightly. We don't want that closing up just yet. Sort of do a turn on each one, just in opposites. Not sure what the torque setting's meant to be. Should I put a bit of Loctite on as well? Not sure. Ooh, that might do me. They're only sort of M6 thread, I think. Don't want to go too mental with them, do we? And that should now spin the entire lot, and I can hear it. Ho 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 ho! Yes. So that's it for this episode. Join me in the next one where we'll be bolting some more goodies onto this Mini. See you next time. Bye.